Hey everyone, today I'm going to do something groundbreaking that I've never done before. Make a discussion video. Me as a YouTuber, throughout the years, I've been focusing on web shows and short stories, but today, no, we're going to be doing a discussion video. Yes, you heard me, a discussion video, which is something I've never done before and you've never seen before. I can tell you that. For this discussion video, we're going to review my old T&F series. Man, guess I have no choice. But hey, what episodes are we going to review? Right. Okay then, I got a lot to review right here. Okay, let's do it. Starting with Jesse's Problems. This episode is just about as bad as it gets, so for the most part, Jessie, while still remaining likable like her original counterpart, she was changed from a friendly, sarcastic, excitable cowgirl to a lazy douche. I mean, that was not a part of her character. That you should have rewrote this. I should have had the urge to rewrite this like a Thomas episode or a Dennis episode. But at least I had to make up my mind. But hey, at least in one part, Thomas sort of stayed in character. But yet in the second half of the part, we see Thomas claiming that he didn't run over everyone. Says I ran over students. I never ran over anyone! Yet you threatened to run over Elizabeth, you dumbass. Okay, I'm sorry. When was the last time Thomas ran over anyone? Oh yeah, I had to mention that Penny had bought up her fiery incident from the Bolt film. Don't believe me? Just hear what Penny has to say. Before, like what, Penny? I've been left. There was a fire at the studio, and I've been left trapped. Oh my goodness. Yep, Penny just had to bring that up, and Thomas saying that's too bad or he doesn't care. That's just extremely heartless. You know that, Thomas? It's not like you to be heartless. Now, the part where Connor and Stepney break into Jesse's room is totally unrealistic. Yes, much like Sodor Mythbusters and I Was a Teenage Tank Engine, this episode also has the lack of realism. Anyhow, this was based on an in-betweeners scene where two students took pictures of Will taking a fat dump. Unrealistic gimmicks aside, the rest of the episode is not what you think. Now I want myself to explain the rest of the episode in just a few minutes. Like, yeah, Jesse's nightmare, Connor being chased tender first. That's a real regard for railway realism. Like, yes, it's dangerous for tender engines to go fast tender first. Okay, now, I'm betting you, take a listen to the soundtrack as heard in the chase scene.
Connor raced as far as his wheels could carry him. Connor, enjoy prison. This is what I yet have to deal with.
If you hadn't recognized it by now, this is soundtrack from 3, the Dale Earnhardt story. Like, yes, I couldn't come up with a proper runaway theme for the episode, but the sunset shot's nice. Set dressing. Alright, then Connor shows his remorse to Jesse, and then the episode ends abruptly. Wow. No proper comeuppance. But hey, it was 18-year-old me back then. What are you gonna do? But how do I rate this episode? Lack of realism, Thomas's hypocrisy, Jesse acting out of character, and Connor running tender first. I give this episode a 2 out of 10, but the only pros is this sunset shot. Okay, I felt very uncomfortable watching this episode, so if you were to rewatch the episode for your own, consider having your own opinions or doubts if you're free to. Okay, moving on from Jesse's problems, we also have Jesse spends some time off. Stunt based on the 2007 Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, October 13, 2007. Huh. Anyway, this episode begins the Jesse-centric episode. And once again, much like the previous episode that I covered, this episode has Jesse acting out of character again. I mean, seriously. Can't we just have a good episode where she at least stayed in character for the most part? But it isn't only Jesse who acted out of character in the episode. Thomas and Percy also, or at least Thomas showed his incompetent side as seen in Sodor Mythbusters, and Percy just does not want to be a part of it. So in this episode, Thomas dared Alfie to jump near the airport, which is a pretty bad idea, considering this is also lack of realism. Next, we see Thomas and Percy at Farquhar Quarry. Once again, Thomas showing his incompetent side yet again. And since this is my old T&F series, there is no sign of Mavis whatsoever. Could she be at least a part of this? Okay, Thomas takes his train of stone somewhere outside the quarry. Maybe at like Brendam Docks, Knapford Harbor, Tidmouth Harbor. And then we see Dono stuck at a crossing with his trailer in a somewhat predictable accident. But to no avail, it was too late. And the trucks broke loose. The sides of the trucks had to slide open. Wow. This logic, though. What kind of hit era world are we living in? And then we see Edward rescuing Thomas. I mean, that's good of him, though. But that was not good of Thomas to dare Alfie to jump through an airport. Or even show a video of an interrupting cheese. Like, if anybody doesn't believe me, just see it right here.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cheese.
Interrupting.
Cheese!
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Interrupting cheese. Oh yeah, by the way, that lab coat guy is actually Joe Smith, the same actor who voiced Philip from the Cars Made International video game. Anyway, by this unrealistic logic, Thomas probably needs to go seek a therapist now. But at least Edward stayed in character. But the Aaron's 312 crash was a nice touch. So, unlike the previous episode, which ended abruptly, like yes, Jessie did show her remorse. She did apologize to Sir Topham Hatt for not letting him know. At least, that's what she should. That would have been a part of her character. Anyway, this episode did have a really good moral.
Who's to know this railway better than any other engine?
So, anyway, bad episode with a good moral. Only real OGs could remember when Scott Windmeiler was a part of my temporary channel rebrand. Oh, and Strange Animal was used to prevent copyright issues. And I knew for a fact Steven Crowder was a horrible person. So, how do I rate this episode? Pros. It does have a good moral about never being lazy at your job. Kind of similar to like Thomas's day off or something. Cons. Jesse and Thomas acting out of character once again. Alfie's unrealistic stunt. And also, what can I say? I give this a 6 out of 10. Now, next up is a floppy night for Jesse. So this episode is beyond average. I don't know. I probably don't have the urge to rewatch it. So, Jesse did or didn't act out of character, but rather just character neutral, that is. But the worst part is Thomas. He's once again, much like both Sodor Mythbusters and the previous episode, he's coming off as unlikable, like in the Nitrogen era of the show. Nothing's gonna go wrong. I mean, I'm not stupid, am I? You were in the previous episode, were ya? And yes, much like Jesse's problems, Thomas is showing his hypocrisy again. Once again, instead of claiming he's not run over anyone apart from Elizabeth, like he threatened to, he did manage to show off his stupidity or non-stupidity. Like, come on, man! Duck struggles to climb up a hill again, much like Edward the Very Useful Engine, a semi-famous Thomas episode, and a van comes loose, and somehow a train of vans pulled Duck down the hill. At least Thomas knew what he had to do. I mean, what kind of hit entertainment level shit is this? I also want to mention the fact that Jesse is not prone to staying up all night as much as everyone else. I mean, that's what the point of the episode is, but no, this was executed poorly because of Thomas being unlikable. Not just Thomas, but Jesse as well. Well, semi in or out of character. So thankfully, a floppy night for Jesse ended the Jesse Flanderization trilogy on a high note, let alone the next Jesse-centric video, like a proper Christmas special or Jesse's Rescue, would be a change for the better. So how do I rate this episode? Well, it's got some pros and cons I might explain later. So how do I rate this episode again? Well, let's just say 6 out of 10. Solid episode. The stock footage was a nice touch because, fun fact, outside the 2 Thomas fan films I did a while back, A Floppy Night for Jesse is possibly the first episode to use this sort of feature. The Cars OCs featured in this video are a nice touch, but as of right now, they are due for an overhaul. It's a good thing I did finish reviewing these 3 episodes because, yeah, that must have been a nightmare to review and a nightmare to rewatch, apparently. But in addition to the Jesse Flanderization trilogy, I might as well review my old T&F Series episode, The Wrath, which isn't a part of this trilogy. But I do want to point out this detail right here. Henry acted out of character, but at least he was remorseful. The addition of a fat man winning a major sprint competition was a nice touch. Oh, and also, the line to the quarry makes absolutely no sense, which, once again, there is no sign of Mavis in this episode, but only Penny is shown. Like, what is Penny's purpose at a quarry? Like, how is she going to work there when Mavis is gone? And also, that route makes 0 sense as well. Or mostly because of Henry taking this route. Like, how the engines chuff from the main line to Farquhar Quarry. It's pretty far. And there's another thing. The episode abruptly ends. Why can't I come up with proper endings? Oh yeah, Hit Entertainment was also abrupt with endings. So, Yeah, how do I rate The Wrath? 2 out of 10. Don't watch. Anyway, go watch my new T&F series right now, which is Thomas's Augmented Brainwave Adventures. Go!